Hey everybody, welcome to Tuesday of week 3 of remote learning. Sorry I wasn't with you guys yesterday. I had some family stuff that I had to take care of, unfortunately. But I am excited to start another week of remote learning. I hope you guys are as well. I did notice that a lot of people did get work in this weekend. That will be getting back to you guys as soon as I can, okay, with the next few days. Trust me, I am seeing it, I am looking at it, and I will be answering more questions in the coming days. Also, I do want to try to get some Google meetings going with you guys. I do want to see your faces, see what you guys have been up to, check in with everybody. But I do one in the afternoon because I know my morning people that have been on, I've only seen my morning people, and there's a lot of people that come on in the afternoon, so I want to see you as well. Today we have the second part of lesson 6, and we're going to be looking at perspective and different sides of an argument. But today's more of an actual writing lesson, so it's going to be more on you guys to get writing done for me. Now, I know you guys might be thinking, how are we going to do writing? You can do it one of two ways, okay? You can actually write it out and take a picture of it, upload it, and I'm going to make comments in the spot where I can make comments. Or if you do it in a Google Doc, meaning you just type it up in Microsoft Word, and then you upload it there, I can make the changes in Microsoft Word with you and give you some suggestions there as well. All right, because we are going to be working on proof paragraphs today about one of the sides of the Revolutionary War. So, focus question remains the same. What were the two perspectives of both sides in George versus George? And today we're going to be looking at our craft question, which is, how does evidence work when writing a support paragraph, okay? And we've done plenty of writing throughout the year, whether it's writing essays and painted essays or short responses, extended responses, paired passages, everything. And you guys know that it always comes down to evidence. What are you including in your writing to make your writing better? Because we all know that the more evidence you have, the stronger your writing is, okay? And you guys want to be able to flex your writing and evidence muscles to make sure that your reader, like we've talked about in the past, that your reader has all the information that you're trying to give them, okay? So we have evidence to support your writing. And so far we've looked at George versus George, you've looked at the massacre on King Street, and you've looked at the engraving, that artwork by Paul Revere. Now, that's where the majority of your evidence is going to be coming from in terms of everything's leading up to the Boston Massacre that you're going to be writing about, okay? And so what I have here is I have a couple of quotes, and I color-coded them just so you guys could see, but also because I can't call anybody and say, oh, who do you think that was? Or which side of the argument do you think that is? Okay? So the first quote is, I can't believe how much money we owe to other countries. The colonists will have to start paying us more taxes. And this is actually a conversation. So now it goes back, that's a British perspective. And now it goes, why should we have to pay more? We already pay our taxes. We don't get to vote on this? That doesn't seem fair. So that's a colonist point of view on the taxes that the British put on the colonists. And then finally it says, if King George says to do it, do it. He is the king. So obviously that is a British perspective as well. But that also, see how those are actual quotes? Those are quotes that you could take and apply to your writing, okay? And then you could elaborate on them yourselves. And so, sorry, there's music now coming from upstairs that I was unexpecting to hear, and there's some dancing, but that's neither here nor there. That's the beauties of remote learning, so I got sidetracked for a moment. But you can use those pieces of evidence to then support points that you want to make in your own writing. So if one of the reasons that you want to bring up why the British were upset is that the colonists didn't want to pay the taxes that they were putting on them. And then when you're on the colonist side, you could say, oh, the colonists were upset because they thought that the taxes were unfair. Then they didn't get to vote on it either. So that would be something that you could use to your advantage with the colonist side, is that we don't get to vote on it. Now, for a support paragraph, it's a pretty standard setup and pretty much done the way we've been doing things all year, okay, in terms of informative writing and what you guys need to have in each paragraph, okay? So it starts off with your topic sentence, and if you remember, your topic sentence is essentially the main idea and tells what your whole paragraph is going to be all about. Then the second thing on the list is context. Context might sound like a word that you've never heard before, or a word that you're not sure what it means or how it applies to writing. And for me also, it took me a second to kind of sit and think back the best way to tell you guys what it actually means. And in this kind of writing and in this setting, it is background. It's background info, okay? And so one thing is that you could say that the British were upset with the colonists, and that's how part of this war started. Then you could back it up by saying one thing that they were not happy about is that the colonists that there's your background, that the colonists didn't want to pay taxes, or the colonists were doing this, whatever. That's your background information. It kind of tells your reader where you're going before you just start throwing evidence at them. And that's one thing, is that people love to just throw quotes at me. Okay, you guys know who you are. If you're one of those people that likes to go to the text and go, oh, that makes sense, I'm just going to throw it in there, and you're not going to give me any background on it, it's not going to work for me, okay? The next thing on the checklist is evidence. Obviously, you guys know about going into the text, going back and looking for things that'll make your writing stronger. We've been doing it for months. Actually, since September. Since the first day you walked in, you've been giving me evidence that supports your writing, okay? And you're going to keep doing that. You guys should know how to do that. The other readings are posted. The pages are posted. Nightmare on King Street is posted. Massacre on King Street is posted. So you're going to find your evidence from there. The next thing is elaborate. If you've forgotten what elaborate means, that means to explain, okay? It means to explain. You can't just give me a quote without saying, this is why I put this in here, or this is why this made sense at the time. And you'll see next to evidence and elaborate, there's a 2. You need 2 pieces of evidence, and you need to elaborate both of them. And then last but not least is your conclusion, which is just you're restating your intro, but with different words, okay? Now, before I say to you guys, okay, cool, done with the video, whatever, I do want to brainstorm some things with you to kind of make this a little bit easier for you, so you guys aren't going back through old videos and scouring through all different sorts of attachments and stuff. Some things that happened that the British were not happy about, okay? So one of the things we just talked about, was that the colonists did not want to pay taxes. And if I didn't mention this already, you guys are doing the British paragraph today, okay? And I know that should be in red because I'm doing everything for the British in red, but today you guys are doing the British paragraph to start, okay? So the colonists didn't want to pay the taxes that the king was trying to put on them. They also British were not respected by the colonists, okay? And there's been a lot of examples of the British not being respected by the colonists and how that's been a major thing in both the Boston Massacre, the battles of Lexington and Concord, and if you can't think of that, that should be one of your strongest points right there. Then also, colonists broke the rules the king, and I'll put George, created. So those are 3 things that you guys could use, but you would need more evidence to back up and support them. You would need a quote. You would need to say on this page or in this picture or in this article, it said this, this, and this. That shows that the colonists didn't want to pay attention. Like, these are all of your elaborates, okay? And I did this for you guys because I wanted you to have these concrete things, and it'll be easier if you guys can just go find evidence of the colonists not wanting to pay taxes, the British not respecting the colonists, or the colonists broke the rules that King George created, okay? And I know for a fact that there is evidence of all 3 of these things in the reading that you have done. All right, so I'm happy to be back with you guys. I will set up a Google Meet time. I'm going to say Wednesday, maybe around 1 o'clock if we can. But that can be changed, possibly Thursday as well, maybe Thursday at 2. But I'll post all that on the stream for you guys as we get along. And we'll go from there. So glad to be back with you guys today, even though I'm still very far away. And let's have a great week. All right, bye.